know where I've been, and it really doesn't matter if I lose or if I win. Just wanna keep on riding, just got to keep on riding. Just wanna keep on riding, I got to ride until I'm satisfied. Keep on moving as far as I can get, but I don't know my destination, 'cause I really ain't been there yet. Just wanna keep on riding, just got to keep on riding. I wanna keep on riding, I got to ride until I'm satisfied.
I'm gonna move the barns. They said it couldn't be done. I never doubted them for a minute. Over here. 28 today. We ordered 26, but apparently we needed 28. How much was the floor? 17, 18, 17? Well, that puts us at 337 yards of concrete. That's about 340 too many for this. Exactly.
We did projects, whether remodeling or building a brand new house. We did all the plumbing, we did all the wiring, all the framing, all the concrete work. We did the driveways, you know, with the help of, whoever was doing all the grade work or excavating work at the time. But
I worked with Steve there for a long time, and different contractors, and doing all sorts of different stuff. Built a lot of apartment buildings and houses and carpentry work, construction work, and that kind of stuff.
Well, got a bulldozer. It's going to be farm tool, and the whole excavating business just started to blossom, and I was making more money with the yellow John Deere stuff than I was with the green John Deere stuff, so it just kept going and going and going, so I kept buying more equipment and bigger equipment.
Walk by the rain, driven by the snow, and I'm drunk and dirty, and don't you know I'm still. Oh, sit down with me. Out on the road late last night, I see my kids. Every headlight well is, and I've been from Tucson to Tucson.
Growing up on the farm, boy, I don't know where to start with that. I mean, as a kid, I would say I always felt pretty poor, you know. I mean, just compared to other people you would see, you just sort of would get the impression that, not that you were really different, but you certainly didn't wear the same clothes that they did or have some of the same amenities that they had. I mean, but a lot of fun though. I mean, that was the other thing. I mean, when I was really little, I remember having to feed the chickens. You know, we had a pretty similar sized chicken coop that I just built for Nina. I mean, I modeled it after the one that when I was 5 and 6 years old. I mean, that's one of the things that I do remember growing up, is that there were always responsibilities. You know, when you look back at it, to, you know, from now to then, I mean, you realize that you came away from that rural upbringing or a farm upbringing, that you were gaining responsibilities at a pretty young age. But you started learning that when you started feeding the chickens at 5, you know, and as you got older, you had, you know, more responsibilities. I mean, but it was all work. It was all things that had to be done.
Here, we were pretty much secluded up here in the country in those days. You know, there wasn't much diversity at the time, so it was a little bit of culture shock heading down to the big school, and Well, it was just, you know, I mean, in Enfield, you knew everybody in your class. It was a class of 25 kids or whatever, and you knew everybody, and then bam, you were in Ithaca, and there was a lot of racial trouble at that time, you know. They were gonna, I remember in 8th grade, I guess it was high school, and they were gonna rumble, and everybody was carrying knives and chains, and there was a lot of tension between the blacks and the whites, and oh man, you were scared for your life. A lot of difference happened between 10th and 12th grade, in my opinion, as far as racial relations. So when I was in 10th grade that year, like Danny, Rumsey, and my cousins were, the senior class were graduating, and there was going to be a big rumble, and they had the cops there, and oh Jesus, it was going to be a big thing, and everybody hated each other. But I think over the next 2 years, I mean, by the time we graduated, there was still your fractions and still tension, but it wasn't as nearly as widespread or as terrifying to me, you know. And I guess I'd had time to get used to being intermingled with the different, you know, with the city kids. I didn't know any city kids till I went down there, you know.
Holy sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. Never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Tonight, while I was sleeping, I dreamed I had.
I've been working and owning, been a partner for 15 years.
Solar shields I have actually had 15 years, and I've been installing window film for 20 years.
I've only been working from home for about a year in January. So this is kind of an experiment for the bank, and it's been working out great.
This is my 13th year. I am a finance transaction specialist, work in a BSC, a business service center.
I'm a registered nurse in the emergency room. I take care of people that are in emergent need of medical care.
Evan, that's 34 some years.
It's a damn long time.
I'm pretty lucky. I think probably the worst problem I had probably was my schooling. Early on I discovered that I wasn't keeping up. My ability to read wasn't the same as my classmates. I was tutored, was, you know, extra help, things like that, to help catch me up, but it never really happened. I actually struggle today still with that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's, like I said, it's always been an issue. I mean, I can read and write well enough to get by, but if I wanted one thing to definitely be stronger, it would be that. And I've made efforts to, you know, to strengthen it, but something just doesn't seem to work. I'm not sure why. But it's never slowed me down. I guess it's made it awkward at times and embarrassing sometimes, but very few. And it's probably one of the few things that I feel like I've ever struggled with. Everything yeah.
Well,
just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they've made put an end to you. That's all I know, and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to.
When I first came out of high school, I had taken auto mechanics at high school, and the auto mechanics teacher thought I had a real knack for it, and he thought I should be an auto mechanic. So I followed his dream for a while. Decided that wasn't really what I wanted to do, I didn't think, and so I ended up on the farm. The big life-changing event was the Purple Jesus Party, and I had never heard of a Purple Jesus Party, but it sounded like the place to be. So I went to the Purple Jesus Party and drove there, and the last thing I remember is apparently I learned after I got there that Purple Jesus is grape juice and whatever anybody else can pour into a big garbage can. Needless to say, I didn't make it to work at 6 a.m. and I decided that I'd had enough of the cows at that point in time. I decided I was going to quit, which in hindsight may not have been my smartest decision at the time, since I was residing in my boss's trailer on Podunk Road there.
It was my math professor there, or teacher, and she made the comment that, because they had to tally up for the state regents exams how many tests they needed. So, it was a show of hands who was going to take the regents test. And then the school offered their own local test for kids taking the local diploma. Just a huge disparity at the, And she asked me, well, she used me as an example. She goes, well, Mr. Linton isn't a regent's diploma, so he doesn't need to take the regent's test. And I raised my hand up. I said, I think I want to take the regent's test. So, and I got a 99 on it. So, I guess I showed her. I didn't need to take the regent's test. It's like, okay, so what, that makes me a second-class citizen? I mean, but that was just me going through it. And I know everyone, else that was not from the status quo and the country club set there was being treated the same way.
That's the barn I built, I don't know, it's been a couple of years now. Do work on the vehicles in there, and a little workshop, and we've lived in a 900 square foot house for 20 years, and now we have some storage. It's a giant closet. This is going to be a pigeon coop that I built to raise some pigeons to train bird dogs with.
Come here, Hondo. Hey, Hondo, come here. This is the dog. This is Hondo. He's a little over a year old. He was born on Halloween a year ago. It's quite a treat to see him around, They can cover a lot of ground.
I love to camp, fish, love to hunt. We've got 4 boats. I've got a 32-foot cabin cruiser. I've got an 18-foot boat, all enclosed, set up for fishing. We've got a small one that we take over to Little Lake here occasionally, and we'll get on the big boat. I usually keep it in the lake down at the marina for the summer, and then we pull it out and bring it home, put it in the barn for the winter. But I love to do the canals. That's a lot of fun to stay on the boat for a couple weeks. Alright, we're going to go feed the swans now. That's Billy Badass. When they're nesting, he gets pretty ratty. Everything you hear about swans is true. They are mean.
Enfield, I've enjoyed it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Why would you want to go anywhere else? You'd be somebody else's problem then.
Well, I've got no reason to be anywhere else, I'll tell you. I get everything I need from this place. Firewood, fish, We hunt deer. People around here are decent, mostly. Got all kinds of good friends around here that would do anything for you. And we all work together, mainly.
You are who you are, and you're born where you are, and you know, something keeps you here. I don't know what it is. I left for 10 years, but I came back. Home is where the heart is, right?